Hello, everyone. My name is G. Welcome to the arena. Today, we're going to be working on something really interesting, in my mind at least. Um, we're going to be trying to ideate, design, and build an app in the time period that I have in this. If it works out and I don't do really poorly, and don't make a lot of progress, we'll never do this again. But if we do make a lot of progress, which I think, within 2 hours and a half, try to get probably something started if I hustle and, really get a move on a lot of these different types of things. Um, we'll get it done. We'll get a lot of different things done. But so basically, I talked yesterday about the idea that I wanted to do, but then I decided, like, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be cool if I really tortured myself and tried to get an app done in 2.5 hours? So I don't think I'm gonna get a full app done, but at least a proof of concept of like what I had in mind done, right? So and I really don't actually have like a full thing in mind, right? So that's why ideating is a part of it. So we'll probably run into Excalidraw, throw around some ideas. We're doing some research on a new framework. So I know yesterday we were talking about LLM works, like Llama and some of the other stuff. That's probably going to be too big of scope in like a 2 hour period. But given the recent things that have been happening with Unity, the game engine, um, I thought that it would be really interesting to take a look at React Native, which is the framework that I use. It has a game engine, or at least an open source project that a bunch of people have contributed to create a game engine using React Native. Now, that's a really interesting idea from the perspective of like it's cross-platform. One of the powers of Unity is that you can create a game that works on multiple different consoles, and it works through the Unity engine. But also, it's a really easy, simplified interface as compared to some of the others that are out there, right? And a lot of it is like drag and drop, and there are I forget what they were named exactly, but they're like ready to make. They're pre-made components or something. I forget what they were called. Like snippets of stuff, right? That you just drag and drop into a scene, and it's already made for you, right? So I'm not expecting React Native Game Engine to be able to do like some super fancy Unreal Engine style like 3D environments, but to be able to do some basic 2D games, right? Your solitaires, your chess, all those types of things. So we'll see what the documentation gives us in terms of like capability, because I haven't literally, I just like have the link. I've never actually looked deeply into the GitHub, but we'll see what its capabilities are. What are some of the examples that we put out there, and then what is a reasonable project to build? I think this is really interesting from a game engine perspective. If I can push an iOS app a lot easier and faster because I know React Native really well, right? You can start combining video game elements into traditional applications, right? And so who knows what that necessarily helps out in, but there's certainly a lot of ways to gamify in an actual game way if you can incorporate, um, a 2D environment, even a 3D environment if the capabilities are there. So let me pull up the game engine real quick. I've already wasted 9 minutes in this introduction. So let's open it up real quick. All right. And the go live notification. Oops, it's completely wrong. My bad. It is not hump day. It is Tech Thursday. So let's just do that real quick. Tech Thursday. Cool. So, what we're looking at here. So this is GitHub. Biberek user Bibarek from Sydney in Australia has created this. So React Native game engine, some components that make it easier to construct dynamic and interactive scenes using React Native. Now this is the first thing that popped up on Google. So, and there's a web version of it, which is interesting, right? You can create. That's probably the hardest thing in React and web dev in general, is just to have full control of the screen, which is why I like mobile a lot better, because you can literally, the position absolute and being able to put something somewhere and then manipulate it using the coordinates essentially there and just moving things around, so much better than the trying to fumble around with CSS in web dev. I'm sure there are some web dev ninjas out there who can do anything underneath the sky in it, but like for a person who's, you know, not very well versed in web dev, sitting down, if you told me to create like, you know, the animation for like a ball going around, right, like reanimate and React Native, even base React Native with like some minor use effect magic, you can probably like create that. I wouldn't even know how to in web dev. So if there's a React game engine and it makes it so much easier to like animate and move things around, that's all the better. So let me just make this bigger so it's easier for people to look at. So let's see. Let's look at Studious Bear. So that's their example. But just looking at the table of contents. So there's example, quick start, game engine properties, methods, cool. FAQ, introduction, game loop. The game loop versus React Native. Ooh, that's interesting. That might be like a full restructuring of React Native. Which is interesting, because React Native is like, just because of most people use React Native with navigation, so it's the stack-based structure, so it's a screen, or you have a screen, you put another screen on top of it. When you go back, you're taking it off, right? So it's a stack-based structure. You're just putting screens on top. When you go back, it's just sliding screens off. Or if you're navigating, you know, it pulls another and puts it in, right? And so, I'm assuming the game loop, right? If you're thinking about the loop, right? It's not screen based. It's based off of like the continuous loop of the game, and where it needs to go is not based off of like the stack. It's based off of, well, I guess it would be a circular queue in computer science terms, right? And that's the loop. First in, first out, that type of stuff. Behind the game loop component, behind the scenes, where's the draw function? I don't know what that is. Managing complexity with component entity systems. Additional CES reading materials. Well, CES is gone, so all hail new CES. Using the game engine component. It seems kind of late to introduce that, but sure. Also packages for game development. I guess this is not enough. Get in touch. Maybe license. Should be just MIT, right? Look at Studious Bear, a super polished puzzle game with great visuals and music. One of the first published games to use our GNE. Oh my gosh. Looking at this, the oldest versions of Pocket Founder used to not be Pocket Founder, of course. But it was actually Moonshot University, when it was really going into like the Duolingo style learning for startups. And this was one of the literal things that I wanted to do, was to figure out how to create like a chain of stuff. And I was so young in my React Native journey that I never would have fathomed how to do it. But hey, if this is easier to do it again, that's great. This is like taking me back, because I wanted to do like, it's a moonshot, right? So you start from Earth and you work your way up to the moon, which when I first created Pocket Founder, right, with the Wall Street Bet stuff, that was super popular. So cool. See the React Native Game Engine Handbook for a complementary app, examples and ideas. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. So if it has physics, that's super cool. But yeah, let's take a look at this. Oh, so it's on the App Store. Well, Womp womp womp. I'm on Windows, so we'll just take it at its word. I don't know what this game. Oh jeez. What would this game even be? Like there's like things and whatever. If you used React Native Game Engine before and understand the core concepts, take a look at the template. Okay. So there's a template that I could just borrow and use. Cool. 3D renderer physics. Wow. So I thought it would have been like just a 2D thing, but it actually has full 3D. That's great. Otherwise, continue reading the quick start guide below. All right. So, do I have to create a extends pure component? Wait, so this is React Native, right? So, okay. Interesting. All right. I haven't used this in forever, so that's going to be a thing. Create a file called. So do we just clone this template? Stick, gamepad, controllers. All right. Well, I guess we'll do the cloning first, and I'll just do it here to. What on earth are they doing? All right. Well, git clone. This thing. Is that where I put my own new name? So. Oh. Well, this might be a good opportunity to start thinking about the game itself and what I could be building. I remember when I worked as a game dev a long time ago at a company that's no longer in existence, I'm sure. The coding test that they had me do was to make asteroids in Unity, actually. So that might be what I tried to do. Asteroids, which seems simple to start, but is actually quite challenging. What would be a simple game? Like a basic chess game. Oh, well, chess is definitely not simple. What are other famous examples? I guess Pong is another famous one. You know what? Let's do Pong then. And create Pong. So cool. Yep. So, CD Pong. So I don't know if this is an This is probably not an Expo app, right? So let me just open this up in VS Code real quick. I don't know why my clone dot is broken, so I can't actually open it up from here. It's probably a simple fix of uninstalling it and reinstalling it, but won't do that on stream. So instead we do it the old-fashioned way. Yeah. Open folder. This one. This is what happens when you have too many projects that you start and stop. You have to dig through them. Alright, so we've got our source. We've got all this stuff. There's a JSON looking like. Oh boy. Well, we got Pong. We've got Pong again. They stuck assets down here. I guess that's fine. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of sprites and stuff there, but alright, so there's a lot of components, utilities. There's app.js, so it just calls game. Index.js has game engine in it. There's a renderer, graphics renderer. Okay. Oof. Oh, yeah. Let's zoom that in so more people can see. Let's save this. Landscape. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so yeah, there's the app. Just returns a game component. There's Expo here, some in the package.json. Yeah, Expo is in there. I think. Let's check again. Expo graphics, yeah, there's Expo 37. I don't know if that's the latest one, but whatever. We'll deal with that bridge when we come to it. So, we ideally should be able to do this. Oh gosh. Unable to find Expo. That would make sense. We can do this. Alright. All the people making fun of me for not using bun. We'll let that load for a second and go back to the documentation and read it. Multitask. Alright. So let's code a scene that incorporates some multi-touch logic. Yeah, so you import that. To start with, let's create some components that can be rendered by React. Create a file called renders.js. It's funny because there's one already in there. So there's a finger, X and Y, position, radius and a half. Okay, X and Y, a view, left and top. Okay. Next, let's code our logic in a file called systems.js. There's systems.js. Nope. Oops. Is there a... No. Right, there's renderer. Nope. Where does systems.js go? Like file structure. Well, oh, so did they put the handbook? I'm into learning by doing, but in some cases I might need a little bit more guidance than this. This is a potential train wreck already. Override render. Oh. Well, maybe not as much of a train wreck. This is somewhat clear. Alright, so they stuck those three things together, and then there's game engine. Okay, so that is this. So they stick it all together. There's this template that you've created, but like the structure is nothing like the other thing. So it'd make me feel like I need to put systems.js somewhere. This is a lot of craziness here. Honestly, it might be more useful if I just create another one from scratch. So I might save this in case I get the hang of it and understand what's going on, but it's probably better if I just start completely, like, what is this? Physics, render body. Oh, the game of life. Man, I remember participating in coding that in college. It was, I didn't do much work. I got carried hard on that project. I was not a good programmer then. I mean, some would argue, still. But, what the heck is all this? Alright. ahead and do that, I guess. We'll just use their name for that. Yeah. React Native Handbook. npm install. Alright. So let's just read through this. So this is the finger, and then you move the finger. So basically, by default, you have a place on the screen that's quote-unquote where the finger is. And then you have a function that when the finger gets moved, okay, sure. Yeah, so the change in X and the change in Y, right, delta, from what I'm assuming, moves the position stored in X comma Y. So that moves the quote-unquote finger around the screen. And the best game ever in the index. Sure. This guy really loves using pure components. Status bar hidden, great. So systems, move finger, so you pull that in there. Styles.container, full screen, background white. Entities, position, renderer, finger. Okay, finger is an actual thing. It's a pink. Ooh, border radius times 2. Radius of 20. Oh, yeah, that would probably be a circle-ish. Like a, yeah. Huh. So that's 5 fingers. Oh, okay, so there's 5 circles on the screen. Build and run. Each entity is a finger and is assigned to a particular touch ID. The touch IDs increase as you place more fingers on the screen. Move your fingers around this screen to move the entities. As an exercise, try and add a system that will insert another finger entity into the screen when a start touch event is encountered. What about adding a system that removes the closest entity from the game state when a long press is encountered? If you're curious, our game engine component is a loose implementation of the component entity system pattern. We've written up a quick intro there. I used to have a book that actually had like all of the, it's the famous computer science book of all of the design patterns in C++. I used to study it religiously, and now it's gone from my memory. So I guess I wasn't that religious. But this sounds familiar, but a lot of things, especially in React, seem to follow like the singleton design pattern, or like an object pool is pretty popular too. So yeah. Stop, start, okay. Suitable for production quality games. That depends on your product. You're not gonna make a triple indie game with it. You can, however, create more. Doesn't mean they can't be fun games. Simple turn-based side scrollers and platformers with a handful of entities and simple physics would be feasible. Bullet hell style games, many enemies, projectiles, and effects on screen at one time will struggle with performance. For these sorts of projects, React Native is probably the right choice of technology at the moment. Yeah, Godot. Oh no, Unity. React Native Donkey Kong. Oh my gosh, that's super cute. Oh, never mind. Nintendo killed it. How do I manage physics? Does not come out of the box physics engine. We felt like this would be the area where the game designers should be given greater liberty. There are a lot of JS-based physics libraries out there, each with their pros and cons. Check out Matter.js if you're stuck. Okay. You have a choice of renders. How you render your entity is up to you. You can use the React Native standard. I assume that's supposed to be standard. React Native components, view or image, or try SVG, or go full exotic. Okay. Sensor data out of the box. I felt like this would be a nice to have in most use cases when need it. Won't this kind of be harsh on the battery? Well, kind of, but so will any game, really. It's kind of a trade-off. Okay, I never thought about battery considerations, but okay. So Game Loop and Game Engine, both are standalone components. Game Loop is a subset of the Game Engine and gives you access to an on-update callback that fires every 16 milliseconds, or roughly 60 frames per second. On top of this, the Game Loop will supply a reference to the screen via dimensions, I guess. Got window. Touch events for multiple fingers. Start, end, press, long press. Like, oh, there's the Game Loop component. It's suitable for simple scenes and interactions. For more complex thing, please use that. For a single movable object. Interesting. And you like nest it as a child component. Interesting. Yeah. So a lot of like OpenGL and other things rely on like drawing as being like the thing to like refresh and update. It's very interesting. Object-oriented programming, blah, 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 blah. A new terrestrial marine-based vehicle, say a hovercraft, into the class hierarchy. Well, that'd just be a combination of the two, right? I don't know actually polymorphism in JavaScript. I'm sure it's just extends this component, comma, the other component. In C++ and other languages, it's more structured in my past memory, but sure. Interesting. Using the game engine component. So is this just a repeat? Yeah, it's a repeat. Alright, well, it seems like an interesting place to start. This thing's installed. So let's see if we can start it and run it, and then take a look at it. Okay, we'll do this real quick then, just in case. Better safe than sorry. Oh, I gotta close the... I don't have it open. What is wrong with this? Okay. You know what? How about we not do it then? Just run it. And we will... open this up with Expo. Alright, we're gonna have to update Expo, because the Expo version's not right. Oh, whoops. What am I doing? Well, this is trouble. We might have to. Oh wait, let me. What the heck was it? React Native. Yeah, this one. Oh crap! Did I hit? All right, let me deal with this over here then. Well, you try something new and sometimes it flops. It seems quite complicated. Oh my gosh, there's still. Oh, right. Now it said Expo. I need at least version. Excuse me, 47, I believe. Expo Go is complaining about. So we're going to rm-rf node modules. And then npm install. Given the new Expo thing. Oh, yeah. What's wrong? I'm not in the business of fixing this stuff for them. So, change of plans. Alright, so we've wasted 36 minutes on trying this out, but it is what it is sometimes. Alright, I wanted to try it out. Didn't work. Disappointing. This probably, I'll just need more time to figure this out. So anyways. Alright, well, this goes to show that looking at Llama and the LLM work, probably not the smartest thing either. But, alright. If we don't get something ready and going by 4, we'll go back to just working on Pocket Founder. But, just give me a moment. Give me a moment to think and figure something out. Well, why don't we pull up Excalidraw and then try to come up with something. A fresh canvas. I don't know what to title it. Let's just think about it, right? So we have our phone here. And what was something that I wanted to do? You know, I was just reading rereading parts of Nir Eyal's book, right? And he was talking about how I forget his name, but one of the co-founders of Twitter, and he did Blogger and another company, but all he did was he noticed behaviors that were happening online and saw that people were having difficulties with it, and so he would go and just make a product that solves that, right? It's most simple in entrepreneurship, right? And he just went out and did it 3 times in 3 different companies, right? Blogging, microblogging, and then I forget what the third company was, but I'm sure it's a unicorn and something amazing. So, you know, something to look up to. Well, guess what? I think a lot of people in recent days, not going down the rabbit hole, but a lot of people are very disappointed about what happened to Twitter. And I think that a lot of people, I get the most engagement and content out of LinkedIn, but it's not the best, and I don't feel a very strong connection, especially to the people that I'm connected to on LinkedIn and all the other social media platforms for at least startup founders in our kind of niche environment. We're not really that well served. And when I built Pocket Founder, I actually had a part of it, right, which was the connect portion, right? It was supposed to be something I called the Founder Decks, the Rolodex of founders, and a way for founders to be able to connect with each other. And really started seeing how like more and more people were clamoring for something like Twitter, but just without all the baggage, if you will, and not going too much more into the issues there, though there are many. Um, so taking a look at it, I mean, why don't we take this time? It's supposed to code up an app, right? I already have parts of it, so it makes this a little bit easier for me. But look, we've got. All right, I'm not going to spend time calculating 20 plus 60 minutes, so I've got 80 minutes to create a nascent form of Pocket Connect. Let's do it. Pocket Connect. So, one of the base things that I always do with all the apps I've noticed, right, is that Poke is here, right? Poke waving. In fact, why not just have the goodest boy himself, make an appearance? There he is. And usually it's just like this, right? And then some form of call to action button at the bottom. In this case, it'd be connect. It's a real like design choice, especially from like a multi-expansive company thing, right? Like I have ideas for multiple different apps. They all kind of are related and can come together. And I think that I know the engineers are going to be crying about this, but I do think that, and product managers and business, it goes against a lot of fundamentals. But look, in some cases, you might want the apps to be separate, right? Facebook has a portfolio of apps, right? And everything is here, there, and everywhere. LinkedIn, on the other hand, takes all of its stuff and sticks it into the one app. And so LinkedIn feels incredibly bloated, at least the app, right? And the website as well. But, when you look at that, those are two divergent ideas, right? You have WhatsApp, you have Instagram, you have Threads, you have Facebook. They're all separate apps. They all do somewhat different things. Oh, and Messenger, right? But I think that the answer is probably both. And that's an answer that I find is the right answer a lot in life. Is that, some people just want the all-in-one thing. All-in-one app, super app, if you will. And some people, pick out what you need. And, they're comfortable with, like, having multiple apps. And it's kind of segmented out. And I think Pocket Founder is one app, right? In this case, it's going to be building pitch decks. In the future, building your data room. In the future, doing your design sprint. And, like, anything that's a hands-on workshop, working with the founders. That's going to be in Pocket Founder. And that's kind of the tentpole app, if you will. Then you have Pocket Planner, right? What I'm calling Pocket Planner, which was the old productivity tool, right? And that's kind of the play against Trello, Atlassian, the old Jira Suite, that type of stuff. You have Pocket Connect, right? Which is a play against parts of LinkedIn, parts of Twitter, old Twitter, right? There was such a moment in time when VC Twitter was super vibrant, and it got very toxic and very spammy very quickly, and that just seems like a lack of moderation controls. Like, cool that, you can go all in on free speech, right? But I don't think that's ultimately what the consumer wants. I think the consumer does want moderated speech, right? Which is not going to work for a minority of people, right? A minority who very often can become a vocal minority. But I think that for most consumers, right, it's majority rule, minority rights, right? So, like, the minority is allowed to exist in a functioning minority, right? But ultimately, the platform as a whole is ruled by the majority of users, right? And that's how you build a strong and thriving anything, right? Government, business, organization, anything, right? Through that basic tenet. And so I think that Twitter is an experiment in minority rule, majority rights, I guess, which, there's a lot of stuff that pops up on my feed when I'm like, what is that? So, I think that content moderation is important, right? And I know that a lot of people are, just from the business of social media in general, you're like you don't want to do a lot of that moderation because then you become the publisher, and then there's issues there. So I think that, like, one, you either got to deal with it. Like, the startup industry is smaller. People are, especially in this platform, they're not going to be anonymous. It'll be like LinkedIn, where your name's going to be there. So hopefully it'll drive down, like, trollish behavior, right? But some people, that's just who they are, and they're unabashedly so that way. And so, I think that the moderation is a publisher decision, and I think that in building that, that's worth it. I think in my opinion, right? Like, because it's so high quality, that network, that it's worth investing resources if it goes to scale, investing resources to ensure that it's properly moderated, right? That there's no random hate speech and this and that, and the Section 213 stuff, which I'm not a legal expert. It's just what I am, like, hearing secondhand. You're able to moderate stuff so that there's nothing that's illegal, or just mostly it's illegal speech, right? Like, some of the stuff that pops up on YouTube and Twitter, which they claim, they can't control because there's too much volume of content, right? I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, that's a far-flung thing. And look at this cute boy. Nobody's gonna say bad things when they're on this cute boy platform, right? What a dog. So, usually I start with that. Then there's some form of onboarding, right? So this would be, let me get your name. And so this is kind of a text field. And I can denote a text field instead by making the edges there. Because I usually round all my buttons. And so that's an easy way for me in Excalidraw to represent something's a text input, which I always do as straight lines. So it's visually distinct for users. So not name, by the way. This is first name. And your last name. Pronouns is standard now. Continue. No need for a back button, but there will be a progress bar. Or actually, I've been using the little, like, pie progress, where it's like fills in the pie the more, well, you set a value of, like, how much progress you want to increment by. I've never done a progress bar. I'm sure that there is a progress bar in one of the libraries. I don't know. It's functionally the same. One's just in the corner. It makes it, like, visually distinct that it's on two corners as opposed to, like, one on the top, and then there's an extra thing next to it, which is the back button. But it's fine. All right, we gotta hurry up. So startup name. God dang it. All right, let's smallen that up. Your position. I think that's it. Uh, just in terms of like what data would be included in the initial profile, and in fact, I never did wireframes on the old Pocket Founder or Pocket Connect because I never actually built out the uh, Founder deck. So this is actually me building it out for the first time. But just thinking about the Founder decks, right? So it's a Rolodex of stuff. So there's going to be a card, your business card, in for each part of the Rolodex, right? So it's going to be a scroll view. So how I usually denote a scroll view in my wireframes is an extended rectangle that's nested inside of a screen. I'm leaving a little blank space here in case I need to collect more data, but I'm going to create the end result so I know what's needed. So inside of this flat list is going to be the list of users, but I think something that would be interesting is that as opposed to LinkedIn where you get so much spam, right? Everyone on the founder decks is going to be blocked out in order of their number, the number that they've signed on to the program. So like number 1 through 50, everyone's going to be like question mark, right? But it's if you connect with that person, and I did that with QR codes in the original app, right? You register that person into your founder decks, right? So you're number 5, you connect with number 3, and bada boom, you correspondingly appear in each other's founder decks, right? And all your information that you're willing to share gets displayed within there, right? And I think that's interesting. So yeah, because then it incentivizes also like the behavior of like gotta connect with as many people as you can, right, to fill out the founder decks. But it also gets out of thing. What's up, Gary? Nice to see you. Trying to get an app done. I have a hour and 30 minutes left, so we'll see how far I can get. But this is Pocket Connect, which is taking the Connect out of the old app and sticking it into its own separate thing, which is fun. So just kind of doing some brief wireframing, and then going to go into try to code this as quickly as possible, but we'll see how far I get. The other thing that you're testing this weekend should still be done. I'm finishing some parts of it up, so we should still be testing. And I know that, yes, for my buddy Gary, this is his favorite part of the old thing, so I know that he's happy that I'm taking a look at it again. It's going to be a separate app, by the way. Not included in anything. Yeah. Well, once you get edit mode finally working 100%, then maybe I'll get social to 100%. Seems that's the speed you're going. Alright, so how I did this, what's weird is like with the old app, I used to have like connect, right? And then I forget what it was. I think it was like a link. It was like a chain, right? It was like a chain. I don't know. I'm trying to draw a chain, but right. It was like that was like the icon. It was like some form of the link icon, and then inside of this, so this would be founder number 1, and their information is like question mark until you fill it in, and then maybe founder number 1 gets replaced with their screen name, like whatever their screen name is, number 1, right? I think Discord's that's the way that they do their like full screen names, but I think with this app, and especially to this particular audience, right? Um, um, you know, we're gonna try to get people to use their real name and not like aliased stuff. Um, I did not get Elon's biography. Um, I saw the first sentence though, which I'll hand it to him. Very funny, very funny. Um, did you get it in paperback or did you get it like on Audible, Gary? So yeah, and then founder number two. So on and so forth. Did you see the thing I sent you on Discord, Gary? The list of events for New York Tech Week. Tonight, if you want, we can go through it and try to coordinate what we're doing at New York Tech Week. Which, for everyone watching, I'll be at New York Tech Week. I think. If I get into some of the events, maybe. Seems so hyped. Well, Andreessen Horowitz is kind of running it or managing it. I don't know. It just seems like a cool thing to like be able to have an experience. I mean, South by had a really vibrant startup scene, even though like that wasn't the main point of the event, right? So I'm just like, I'm sure New York City can capture some of that in the bottle. All right. So there's probably going to be a blocking bar here, and I'll just add in a little black background there to do that. So there's going to be a bottom bar, right? And so there's probably going to be like small like founder decks, which I don't remember what icon I used for it, but there'll be an icon here. And then we'll just do like connect, I guess. So this is actually not connect, but I'll save this for something else. Gary, you should care, because that's the one time I'm actually visiting you for New York Startup Week or whatever. And so the connect, well, it's going to have some of that person's basic information, right? So like, first name, last name, position, company, screen name, founder ID, and then this is your QR code to get scanned. So there's that. This is just like LinkedIn, right? But a lot easier, because you just hit connect. I know that LinkedIn added the thing where you hit network and then there's a floating action button on the bottom right to like hit, and then it's like QR code, and I'm like, why do I have to click like 3 or 4 times to get to something that's super necessary? So I don't know. It's they don't have the best designers in the world. Oops. So ... So that's a bunch of them. As more people sign up, the founder decks gets bigger and bigger. Obviously, we're gonna have like the 3 lines. Wow, that drew out like some lines for me already. whatever. You know, the little filter option thing there. I can go there. All right, so I think that's it for now, really. Just coming up with this stuff. So let's jump into the app. That's the old app. Actually, I need to create a new thing. So make dir, or actually, npx create. Was it create expo app? Oh my gosh, I should know this. Yeah, it's create expo app. All right, and Pocket Connect. I'll be very excited when I can claim the Pocket brand for a bunch of different products and stuff like that. So. Alright, while that's going, is there anything else that I need to add in this? Usually I add like a little settings thing, but in this early initial run, I don't think I need it. So we're going to have to use the app context for these two. We'll have an onboarding and then 2 screens. It shouldn't be that hard. Pocket Connect. I miss it. I miss it. Oh gosh, hitting the wrong one. Alright, fast and agile. Here we go. App.js. We don't need this. We don't need this. We don't need that. We're gonna get rid of everything. Shoot. Actually, go back to this. Go into projects. Nope. Oh no. What did I do? There we go. Alright. We got a bunch of stuff in there now. So, we gotta install a bunch of stuff. And there's the command to install everything. Let's do that in the background as I get this stuff prepared. So we're going to need app context. So let's actually open that up. Throw this over here. All this setup stuff. I need app provider actually. once the navigation stuff is installed, I'll stick that there. I'll also need Stack Navigator, which is in navigation. So I need Stack Navigator. Great. I will need the Navigator provider in here. Let's see, what am I got to work with? Main screens, that stuff. Cool. I won't use any of this. So what we need is the founder decks, the initial onboarding, and what was the other one? The connect. And so we're gonna have a connect.js, which will have a main screen component. Oh, that's the header. This is it. Alright. Main screen component. Alright, so just trying to be quick as possible. Header icon. Was it link? We'll fix that later. Header text would be connect. And then there was like a view, which was like the user info container. Goes there. Oops. Styles user info container, which will have margin vertical of like 10, block the top and bottom. Alright, this stuff is done installing, so we can get navigation container in there. Stick this here. I need the paper container, paper provider. Stick that in there. Let's look at an old project, one that we usually work with, to see anything else that I'm missing. Nope, we're good for now. I'm gonna add a style, or I'm gonna add a component actually to get that, knock that out of the way. This is gonna be the founder context. Yes. Whoops. So this goes here. I'll just put this here to use it as a base. So const founder context is equal to create context. Okay, I guess it doesn't know what that is. Import create context from React. We'll figure that out, what that problem is later. Export const founder provider is equal to. Alright, Copilot, I guess you're not helping me out. See how it is. Const founder decks list. Okay, I guess Copilot's really phoning it in this evening. Use state. Nope. That's not great. Alright, we're gonna have to put use state here. Const founder provider functions is equal to nothing yet, because I don't know what the founder decks interaction functions are gonna be. const founder provider storage functions, which again will be empty because I don't know what goes in there yet. Founder context dot provider value spread founder provider functions, founder provider storage functions. Children. My children. I think that's it. All this extra stuff is from something else that we'll deal with down the line. But considering that I have the context set up, I need to rename this. Founder state. Alright, and then add the provider to here. Cool. Alright. Stack Navigator. Should be sending me to a splash screen. So this should work right off the bat. Well, we can deal with the React issue, if there is one, right away. No, doesn't seem to be one. Oh no. I wish that the Expo Go app actually had like a camera function in it instead of telling me to go to the camera app. I don't know why they don't want to deal with it or something, but alright. Color context has already been declared. What? What's wrong with this? Out of color state. Oh. Unable to retrieve. Unable to resolve this thing. Was this not included in the initial installation thing? Oh, it's right here. Right? Did I do it wrong? Alright, let's pull up that real quick. See what the actual... yeah. Alright. Crap. So this install thing is wrong, so I need to change that. Crap. Where is it? Alright, whatever. I'll just look it up real quick. Async storage. Oh, do I have to put the @ in front of that? Alright, I guess we'll do this then. Project root directory not found. Working directory. What? Command error. Project root directory not found. Working directory. What's... Did I mess something up? Ugh. Alright, second time's a charm. Let's do this. I think what I'm going to do is call myself on Discord. I don't have Discord anywhere. So instead, we're going to call myself on Discord so I can share my iPhone real quick. Alright. Alright, share my screen. And I actually figured out a better way to do this phone capture. So instead of using this as screen 2, we're going to, screen 1. We're going to remove it. We're going to add, and I'll have to reset it every time, but, or not display capture. I need the Windows capture. And this will be Discord. And then there you go. There's Discord. And so if I switch to Discord and make it full screen, then make this part smaller. I'll fix that in the future, but you should be able to see what's going on in the app at least. It's kind of small, but I'll fix it in the future to zoom it in. But okay. So what's next? Going back to this. So we are in our splash screen. I'll deal with beautifying it later. I've noticed that light mode and dark mode are being blocked. Not by this thing. It's in this. Always happens. Automatic. Believe that's it. I think I have to refresh the app for that to take effect. There we go. There's my dark mode. Get blinded by my app, but actually, just for you, I'm looking on stream. It's quite dark and the background's already black, so we'll put in light mode. I'll deal with it. Maybe I'll wear sunglasses. Nope. Screen share turn off. There it is. It's back. Alright. Back to it. We've got about an hour left. So an hour to make a few screens. I think we can have that in the bag. So there is no home screen, so we'll get rid of that. That might break the Stack Navigator. But this is not needed. Profile. Ooh. Profile might be a different thing. So we'll hang on to that. Login. Not dealing with auth now. So we'll save that for later. But instead we'll first off create a screen for the connect page. This will be connect. Alright, and connect. And we need screen options. Well, how did I do it for the other one? Oh, it's just options. Got it. You couldn't be consistent. React Native navigation. React navigation. Whatever. Alright. So there's the connect screen. Let's create the founder dex.js. Whoops. Pretty similar to the other one. It'll have a... Well, we'll actually keep that. We'll do a main screen component. Stick that stuff there. Header. Oh. Header icon. What did I have for the founder dex? Got rid of that code a long time ago. Not got rid of it, but it's in GitHub somewhere. Let's go back to this real quick. Account group could be an option. A group of people. Social media. No, that's literal social media. Accounts and users. Is there like a Rolodex? I can't imagine there being a rule. Well, there's a role. Film, roller, shade, Phone. Maybe there's something like a phone book. Not quite. Always my favorite part, checking out things there. Alright, last search. If not, we'll just use account group. Scanning through really quickly. I thought I had one good one. I'll check GitHub after. Alright, yeah, we'll just use account group. Group, I believe it's outline. Nothing's crashed yet. Alright, header text. Founder dex. And that'll be just here, but this will be const. Theme colors. Equal to use. What the heck is that? Alright, I don't know why that's happening, but we'll deal with that another time. Instead, theme colors is from color context. There we go. And I like putting context above user-defined components. Cool. So that's that. There's a flat list here. So data is equal to const founder dex list taking that from the founder context, which has not been exported. Now I'm remembering it. Yeah, no, I did not export it. So export default founder context. So that's what I'm doing. There, add a semicolon here, a semicolon here, because I was raised that way. Founder dex key. Man, Copilot not giving me too much help today, huh? I believe it's .toString. All right. Render item. Render item. so these are going to be the individual that's not it goes there, you idiot. This is going to be a touchable opacity. Yeah, so there will be like an individual user profile, which is why I kept the profile stuff. So when you click on this, it'll go in there, but that's out of scope for the thing. We'll just say selected or console.log, or how about just alert you selected founder member index +1. All right, in there you have the text. This would be founder name, founder label. I believe in the thing I actually made it multi-tier. Where is the Excalibur? Yeah, so there's actually two lines of stuff. So we'll need a view in here. Put that there. Styles. Actually, it doesn't need a style. It just needs the two things. One at one level. Yeah, so it's two texts there, and then yeah, so it'll be something like that. And then, just for now, we're not dealing with this yet. Founder name, let's get the colors. Primary color. Whoops. Alright. So there's that. There's some styles, but I'll manage that in a second. Alright, let's go back to the connect thing real quick. So I actually need the QR code, which I believe there's a library for that. Yeah, QR code SVG. So I'll need to install that. Alright, so we're gonna kick that, do this real quick. npx expo install. This, let that install in the background while I go and deal with the styles real quick. And it's done. Dang, I don't know what the use case for speed with Bun is, but I've never hit needing to download so many packages that it prevents me from doing work, I guess. Maybe at humongous companies, maybe? But, like, humongous companies, they can afford to have employees just sit around and not work while they configure stuff. It's not... They can afford it. That's probably the least of their problems. So cool. So what do we have here? So we just had a bunch of information. This is user information. Which will go here. So we'll have const first name. Really, Copilot's not working today, huh? Usually finishes it out for me. And I guess we're on a smoke break today. Alright, last name. Figures. On the day that I need speed, Copilot decides to call it quits. What else did I need? Oh, yeah, your pronouns. Set pronouns. We'll figure that out. Const startup name set startup name. What else is there? Position. That's it. Const position. Alright, so a lot of strings. But, yeah, so I think probably the biggest thing would be, I mean, we'll do the error validation at the orientation screen, so maybe you don't need to do that. You can always change it back at some point to have validation at this level, but personally, we're going for speed, so we don't need that for now. Gosh. What's wrong with Copilot? It's not working. I don't have enough time to get it working again. I'll deal with it later. I'm going to speak to Copilot's manager. Alright, so all those things are in there. So just looking at that. Alright. So view. We're going to need a row. So we're going to do styles.full name view. We're going to have some padding all around, probably. There, and then we're going to have a text. Oh, well, I was going to make it two distinct for text fields, but yeah, I'm going to need it anyways. Because it's going to be first name plus space last name. We're going to provide it through our context. So we're going to need first name, last name, your pronouns, your startup name, and your position. At said startup. Use context. Oh my gosh. You're killing me. App context. At least that works. Just a lot of things broken today. It's okay. We roll with it. We be flexible. That's so weird. What's wrong? What does it actually say? Cannot find a declaration file for module React. Nodes. Whatever. Alright. Pronouns, startup name. That's that. Can you squeeze it in? You might have a long last name, and so then your pronouns. We'll deal with that later. Yeah, we startup name. Oh. So it's position plus at the startup. Yeah, so styles dot first name text theme colors. We haven't imported that yet, so we're gonna grab that. Theme colors is context, color context. Cool. We're gonna copy this, but just change the name of it. So this is startup info text. So we'll have that at some point. And then what was the last one? Oh, screen name and founder ID. Well, we'll deal with that later. Not worry about that for now. So that's user info container. So that's the top part. And then the QR code. So did it install? It did. Alright. We need to figure out how to use it. Whoops. I didn't mean to hit that. QR code and then just a value. Okay. For right now, shout out to pokefounder.com. Alright. So there's that. Alright, let's see if things break, because they always do. What is this thing? This thing needs navigation. This is why I was wondering navigation wasn't highlighted. Alright, and what was it? Selected screen. That was the last one. Selected screen, we are in the Founder Decks. And then selected screen for this one is we're in the Connect. The splash screen will take us to Founder Decks. Just don't hit that button yet. It doesn't matter. We will not be hitting any button because it will not appear. Not compile. Stack Navigator. What is wrong? Okay, yeah, this thing doesn't exist. In fact, we can just... yeah. Alright, that's loading. We need to pull in the Founder Decks anyways. So we'll be making more changes to this thing. Alright, no errors yet. Just wait until it sees the bottom bar. And the fact that we haven't built it yet. Alright, I actually need this thing. There's that. Alright, so we need to set bottom bar here. Yeah, well, we do not have home. We instead have this thing. We'll have this thing minus the outline. And the screen is Founder Decks. And then we have another option. The icon for this is need to actually check to see if that's actually the right one. Yeah, so there's link. Alright, so link doesn't have an outline or a non-outlined one, so we'll do unselected as link variant. Or Alright, non-selected is link. We'll do icon. Selected to be link variant because I drew it diagonally in the thing. As you can see here, there's horizontal link, there's diagonal link. I drew in the Excalidraw. Diagonal link is the selected icon, so that's what we're gonna go with. What we're rolling with. Navigation, selected screen, and we happen to skip over screen. As being connect. And then just do that. That, I believe, should be that. I don't think there's any children as any. Yeah, it's not. None of these are tabs. Selected, tab, and no right action necessary. Alright, well, I can't wait for this thing to break in fun and magical ways. Let's hit the button. Founder context does not exist. Glorious. I thought I got it. I guess I did not. Cool. Cool. It is all the way at the top, which means... Oh. Gosh, I do this a lot. Yeah, that's the old stuff. So there we go. There's Founder Dex. There's no data yet, so that's why nothing's in there. You know, if I were to just, you know, I don't think it matters because I'm not actually using items, so I can do 1, 2, 3. And then if we go back in there, yeah, you see there's the 3 things there. All squished to the left because I haven't actually styled anything. So style equals founder info container and just align items. Actually, I don't know if I want to align the item center. Maybe just margin left of 20 to push it over, and then margin vertical of 10 to separate everything out. And then we just need to add a little font styling. Not having Copilot, so this is going to be fun. So we have label. Font size of 25. Font weight bold. There's that one. And then founder name. Question mark. Font size of 20 and no bold. Okay. And then on the connect side, text does not exist. Cool. That means I deleted it. And never added it back in. Alright, there you go. There's that. I love how there's none of the information's collected, so all you see is at, which is here. Need to center it, so useful info container. Align items center. Okay, if I could spell. Golly. Oh, and the QR code's outside of it. Yeah, let's just stick that in there too. Just make sure with the startup info text, I don't know what the, font size of 20, margin bottom of like 50 to really separate it out. Also, the QR code's kind of small. Where's the size? Oh, it's just size. Okay. Wow. By default, it's 100. So let's do 250. See where that gets us. Okay. That's great. Cool. That seems big enough. Alright, so we did those two screens. We have 40 minutes left. I'm actually feeling a little bit more relaxed that we should be able to get through this. The onboarding. So we're going to have onboarding get personal info.js. You know, one of the things about building in public like this is that nobody can accuse me of improper data storage, because I'm literally showing people that I'm storing their data on their phone and not pulling it into any servers. Woo! One of those data privacy people should absolutely love me. Alright, we need the text input. Fuego. Alright. That's cool. We're on fire. Until I need to know how to actually use text input. So I'll just pull it up from the project that we had previously. Some of this might be familiar if you watched yesterday's streams. So we need not slide name, but your first name. Keyboard.dismiss. Oh, actually. In the older projects. Here. The onboarding would have had. Oh my gosh. The old code was so bloated because I stuck everything in there. Oh, look at the old code. Oh, I was such a fool. Circa 2 months ago. Ugh. It's disgusting code. Alright. Const last name ref is equal to use ref. Use ref is in React, and so obviously, of course, it doesn't import it. Use ref from React. So on submit, not only are we... Oh, we don't dismiss the keyboard. We actually move to the next one. So last name ref dot current dot focus. That's actually something that I need to remember for the next time. Anyways, set first name. This will be first name. Does not exist yet. I got it. ABC order. Because I'm anal like that. First name, use state. And it'll be initially that. Use state. Alright. Cool. So we need styles. Theme colors, primary background, const, theme colors, use, context. Every single time I do this like background stuff, which is mostly for light mode and dark mode, I just remember that one VC being like, hey, if your app has dark mode in it, you're gonna fail. And I was just like, do you know how trivial it is to like implement light and dark mode? At least on the mobile app side. I don't know how the web dev side is. I'm sure there's some CSS magic that you do, but magic is magic. I believe in science. So, you know. Maybe if your website has dark mode, maybe. But at least on mobile. I've done it once, and I've never had to care about, you know, how it looks into the future. So, you know, that guy's definitely not in the arena. This is flex 1, padding top of like 20-ish, no, 60. 60, and then the bottom is like 120 because I'm gonna have a bottom button. Okay. Another text input. Set last name as text. Last name. We're just gonna add this real quick. What the heck was that bird noise? It sounded like a, I don't know, a bird going through a cheese grater. Jeez. Hope it's okay. Alright, there's that. And then the pronouns, I guess. So last name, text, Cool. We're good there. And then your pronouns. Actually, we'll just copy paste that again. Placeholder, optional. Because not everyone wants to put down their pronouns, but the option is there if you'd like it. And then this one is keyboard.dismiss. Keyboard.dismiss. And then your pronouns. Pro-nerds. Pounds. Whatever. Const. Pronouns. Set pronouns. It'll probably be the case that in the future, you know, this will just be like a drop-down options thing, but for right now I don't have time to make sure that's all built out. We're speeding. There's just 2 steps, and if Gary's still on, I wonder if there's only 2 steps, do I still need the progress bar pie thing? I mean, you're just going to see a half circle and then a full circle. So I don't know if that's absolutely necessary. Of course, Gary zones out, so I don't know if he's actually listening. He says, don't care. Well, thanks. Styles.submit button row bar. I'm totally not copying old code. I'm definitely, this is all original. Okay. Guess that's what I did. Text. Continue. Per the thing. Active opacity. 0.6. Disabled. You guys want to see me type at lightning speed? Bam! Oh my gosh, that's so fast. And then your pronouns. Pronouns. Is equal to nothing. On press. Yeah, there's going to be some form of store this stuff away. Store function. Which will be over here, but I'm not going to write it yet. Or, sorry, over here-ish. To do all that stuff for the names. Not going to care about that now. Navigation dot navigate to the next one, which will be onboarding get startup info. Under style submit button, comma, legal copy and paste, tertiary operator, theme colors dot tertiary background, which will be this great teal color, which I'm slowly souring on, by the way. I think I might just go with blue and be super normal like everyone else. We'll see. We'll see. Secondary. Oh. Whoops. I did this in reverse. This should go here. This is the worst way of fixing this. Yeah. Colon goes here. Oh, that was a disgusting way to fix that. Shadow color. Underlay color of the success color, tertiary. Alright, and then styles dot submit text. Got half an hour left. Alright, there's a lot of styles there, but I'll deal with that later. Let's get the other onboarding screen done first. Onboarding, get startup info. Alright, it's basically going to be a carbon copy of the other one, so I'm just going to grab this. This top part's probably going to be the same. All that this is that there's one less. So we're going to get rid of this middle one. And this is going to be, what, position? Set startup name. This will be startup name. Your startup's name. This is not optional. This is your job title. Position. Position. Job title. Set position. Oh, I sound like such a proper engineer when I do set position. Feels good. Alright, const startup name set startup name use date position, if I could spell, set position empty string for these two. Const position ref. I don't think I put refs on the old one. On these ones, actually. Yeah. So I'll add that real quick. Ref is equal to last name ref. Oh crap. Pronouns. Pronoun ref. Yeah, pronouns. Oh, whoops. This one. That. Cool. You need to do the same for this. Use ref. Position ref. What's that? Alright. Const. Theme colors is equal to use context. Color context. Alright, there's a lot to do here, but let's do it once and then copy it over for both of them. So what else is needed? Top to bottom, we need text input. Huh? What's that? Oh my gosh, I'm... Oh no, where is it? I'm typing so fast you can barely see it. Oh, look at that. Hold on. Oh, what is that? Oh, I've gotten even faster. Look at that. Look at that. So much faster. And then I'm copy pasting. My typing is almost as fast as my copy pasting. It's incredible. It's so good. Alright, cool. So we're gonna need to create like a little flag here for future logins, but we haven't saved anything, so has const has or finished onboarding or something like that. Set finish onboarding. That would be false initially. And then you can just set finished onboarding. And then the finished onboarding goes here. I could do all the store functions, but I'll do that offline. Just as long as the flow gets where it needs to, all the screens get to where it needs to go. I don't think it bothers anybody too much that you know, this stuff doesn't it's fully fleshed out. But Gary will get 2 things to test. Thank you, Gary. Store functions. There's gonna be a few of them. Although I could bundle them, but that's fine. I could do a back button, but that'll be a polished thing. So let's go back to Stack Navigator, or no, we'll go back to the splash screen. Instead of going to the Founder Decks, we're going to onboarding, get personal info, and then we create a const onboarding stack. Yeah. Stack.group. Stack.screen name is equal to onboarding get personal info. And then we grab the component of the same name. Yeah, that can go left and right without the with the gesture controls and whatever. That could be the way that you go back, because I'm strapped for time. Can't get all the polish done. So get startup. Whoops, info. Component. The other onboarding one. There you go. Close that up. All right. Let's go to the app. All right. Maybe we need to refresh it. Or yes, it's because we haven't added the onboarding stack to this thing yet. Ugh. It's this one. You dingus. Idiot. Oh my gosh. What am I doing? There we go. Alright. Alright. Let's restart the app real quick. And let's get into it. That did not do what I wanted to do. Why? Oh, that's because I didn't. Okay. Second try. And save it. Alright, get started. I don't know what that is. Cannot read underscore context of undefined. Oh. This thing needs a color context in here. You're right. I was like, what the heck is that? It's my fault. Theme does not exist. That's because I used to call it theme. Or maybe I didn't write full out theme colors. Haha, there's the things. I don't like that, how that looks. So we're going to do like a margin horizontal of like 20. There you go. And then like a margin bottom of like 10, maybe. Why is it focused to optional at the start? It's not what I want it to do. Why is that one the focused one? The autofocus. Oh, it's because all of them have autofocus. So they obviously just go down the line. So we're going to restart this. And the autofocus should be on the first name. Ta-da! Alright. And this is disabled here. I can't click on the continue button because I haven't written anything else. So, George Lee. Oh, this one's optional. So this shouldn't be part of the failure condition. There. So, Lee. That's my name. Alright, and we're going to continue. First name does not exist. Oh. It's because the conditionals for this. This should be startup name and position. Get out of here. Get out of here. And we'll just copy paste this. Type this really fast. So G, Lee, theme does not exist because I copy pasted it. Right. You right. So G, Lee, continue. The autofocuses again. So let's just swipe that back. Continue. Your startup name is now focused. I didn't grab the margin stuff from here and put it to here yet. Go there. Cool. My startup name is Pocket Founder. I don't know where the Z came from. Pocket Founder. My position, I'm the janitor, because I clean everything up. Navigation does not exist. I didn't put it there. Ta-da! We're done! And that stuff's not saved into the context yet, so that's why the thing isn't there. But how much time do we have left? 20 minutes? Okay, fine. If you're twisting my arm, you make me have to do it, I'll do it. But let's create a function that overall does it. So store values from onboarding. So values. So I could just provide them in an object of stuff. So we'll just do validation. So if values dot first name not equal to undefined. Yeah, so how I did the async storage here, you can't store the single keys multiple times in the same function. It doesn't work that way. You got to bundle it up together. So instead, I'll probably have to, yeah. So if pronouns is equal to undefined, yeah, I don't think there should be no way that these are empty. So this doesn't need to validate it. This is what happens when you push validation to the edge. uh, I mean, I could validate it again, but there doesn't seem to be a point right now. So instead, we're going to do store multiple values async storage. Key values. Can I just do values? I'll drop them in as values into app. Oh, I can't do that yet. Oh, what the heck did I do there? I'll need to do finish onboarding to be true. Oh, well, so then this isn't necessary then. That's all that needs to happen. And then if values dot. Alright, so this is going to be really long, especially without Copilot. But set first name. And so on and so forth. Are you not entertained? See, this is the janitorial work of the arena. Gotta clean it up. Especially when the Zamboni is broken. Gotta clean it up by hand. You know, I worked at the Tsonga Center at UMass Lowell, the hockey rink there, for like 3 years, I want to say. Part of the marketing team there, and did stuff all in the underground of the Tsonga Center, but like I never got to ride or drive the Zamboni ever. Not that that was my job, but you know, I snaked my way into, you know, the marketing department when I really didn't have a reason to be there. But yet, you know, I never snaked my way onto the Zamboni. But I mean, it's usually for like kids or special dignitaries, so definitely not me. And then yeah, set finished onboarding to true. No, actually not yet. Oh, actually not yet. I just realized. Because you still have the startup information to go through. Key values in there. So let's just check here. Setting key to value. Do I explicitly label it key : value? Oh no. Well, I just want to make sure here. So I'll go back to the other code and then find an instance where I use it. What is the actual thing called? Store multiple. Yeah. Oh, I wrote it differently. Oh. I wrote it differently in this implementation. I changed it, and now I don't know how it actually works. You know what? That's how you test it. This is what testing is for. Alright, 15 minutes. Alright, so what did I write? What is it called? Store values from onboarding. So where is it? Oh, I don't actually have it in here yet. So context, or const, store values from onboarding. Use context, the app context. And then store values from onboarding. First name is first name. Last name is last name. And then how do I do the thing if there is no pronouns? I mean, I could just call two different types of the functions, so yeah, I'll just do that. Not the most elegant solutions, but equals this, then do that, else store values from onboarding. First name, last name, pronouns to pronouns. Alright. Trying to do the right thing here. So we go on to this one eventually at some point. But let's test to see if this one works. Alright, so G, Lee. Alright, so let's see here. So storing multiple objects in async storage, that thing in the app, stored null, no stored object found, creating one with in app. It seems to have worked. Now I believe before I input this information, I can finish this off really quickly, I believe. Oh, would the startup info be in app or would it be in founder? Oh no, wait, I already have this stuff here. Okay. Oh, why did I? Alright, I'll change that later. That's a simple fix, but store startup info from onboarding. Values, and then do the same thing. Stored multiple things. Values. App. If values dot startup name not equal to undefined, then you set it. Should never be undefined, but whatever. I already started typing it, so we're just gonna go through with it. If not else, because I don't want the first thing to do it, but values dot position not equal to undefined, then we're gonna do set position to maybe one day I'll evolve into like writing space, satellite applications, and then I won't need to dream about setting positions in actuality. I'll actually be doing it. Alright. G. Lee. The object should already exist, so yeah, it's just setting it. Yeah, see that? Stored object. It already exists, so you're setting the name. And then, this one. So Pocket Founder. So it should use the, found object null, and then, the new thing there. If I was a better programmer, I could add in really quick, remove trailing spaces. but I'm not going to do that now. Oh my god, I just wrote position. I'll actually not be facetious and write founder. That didn't store. It's because I didn't actually use the store function. Golly, I'm so stupid. You donkey, you. What are you doing? Startup info from onboarding. I knew I was forgetting something. Startup name. I just imagine a reality TV show that's in the style of Hell's Kitchen, but it's just programmers, and you have a senior dev just standing over someone's shoulder as they're pair programming and just being like, "You donkey, you know, all that stuff." That'd be hilarious. I would totally watch the shit out of that. Store that. Use context. App context. Why am I like that? Bothers me so. Alright, let's refresh. Do this whole song and dance again. And to show that it actually changes. Oh, I didn't actually. Oops. Before we actually do that. ... Comma. Finished onboarding is true. Ha 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 ha. Set finished onboarding to true. Doesn't matter now because splash screen doesn't have any of the infrastructure to handle that, and I might actually should add that to the template. But for right now, good. That's future proofing. So George Lee. No pronouns. Alright, let's just show this real quick. To show, see, it changed it. Cool. And then position, pocket, founder. And I'm feeling spicy. So we'll choose to be the CEO. And as you can see, finished onboarding is in there. Oh crap, did I save it all under app? Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do that. Alright. So as you can see, updated the stored object to have finished onboarding to true, name, position, startup name. So when you go here to connect, hey! My name, my position, my company, all there. So what are the next steps? Like using the profile here to allow for you to edit your information. So it'll probably be a right action button on this screen. So profile will be a tab of connect. What else is there? Gosh, I mean, the text is kind of small enough that I think you could probably fit in pronouns. You'd have to have a abnormally long name in which, sorry, my name's only 8 letters. 3 if you include my nickname. So, yeah. Gosh. Can't believe I actually got that done. And the scrolls and all that stuff. Feels good. So I call that a success in today's stream. Successfully building an app in one time. Let me just check to make sure that you can actually see it. In fact, I'm so happy that I'm gonna go to the left screen real quick and just make it a little bit bigger and show it a little bit bigger so that you can see it. So as you can see, all the information's there. This part's not styled, but this part is. So look at that. 2 hours or so completed, like 5 slides, including the designs for each of them and all the internal wiring and whatever. Like, look at that. The amount that I can do in 2 hours-ish. So, this just makes me not believe that it took me like 5 months or so to do the whole productivity app. I'm just getting better, right? I'm just getting better. All right. Well, let's go to the full screen. So, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I actually think this is an incredible success. So, this might be coming back for Thursday. So, whenever I have an idea in the upcoming weeks, I'm just going to note it down into a little notepad or whatever. I don't really carry a notepad, so I don't actually know what I'm saying. But I'll keep in mind what ideas that I want to work on, and we'll prototype them out and do it every Thursday. A little spicy change of pace every Thursday. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for staying and watching my mediocre content. And from the arena, thank you so much for watching. Good luck on what you're doing. Thank you.